right, everybody, this is going to be a quick and dirty tour of some amazing fish. No editing, no nothing, just a tour of some cool fish. We're going to start with these. These are awesome. And while I'm talking about them, I'm going to take some brine shrimp and put it in there. And you're going to see them go nuts. They like frozen brine shrimp, they like frozen bloodworms, among other things. But these are the world's only species of true freshwater moray eel. There's some that are sold as true freshwater, but these are the actual true freshwater species. They come from around Australia and Papua New Guinea, and they are they only live in freshwater except for breeding migrations. So at breeding time, they'll migrate down to the salt water, but the rest of their lives, their entire adult lives, they spend in true fresh water. So these guys are going to do great for you long term. Look at them eat that brine shrimp. They have a unique way of doing it. They'll tilt their head to the side, and then they'll just dive right in to eat it. They're eating really well, frozen foods so far. We haven't really tried to transition them to any dry foods yet, but I've read about people that keep these and they don't have any problem getting them to transition to sinking dry pellets, like a sinking Hikari food stick type thing is the one I've read about the most. But check them out. Now, I rarely get big fish, and these aren't big right now. These are around, I'm going to say 7-8 inches, but they're going to get big. And they're going to get 4 or 5 feet. And when that happens, they're not going to fit in the average tank. All right, folks, sorry, I know I said I wouldn't have any cuts in here, but my water pump I heard a water pump making a strange noise, so I had to run over really quick and make sure everything was okay there. So we're back at the true freshwater moray eels. They get big. That's what I was talking about before I ran over to check the pump. 3-4 feet, somewhere around there. 5 feet on a, like maybe that's a record, like on a gigantor. And usually I don't carry fish that get that big, but there's enough specialists with big fish that really want the species and have a hard time finding it that I went ahead and took a risk and brought them in. And I think they're absolutely amazing. I'm just loving these. They're a true freshwater fish. I don't know how far I got before I ran off to check the pump. So these guys live in freshwater their entire lives with the exception of breeding migrations. They migrate to salt water for breeding purposes, but besides that, their entire adult lives are in freshwater. So they'll do well for you long term without having to mess with salt, which is excellent. So if you're a specialist that's been looking for the true one, we've got it, and they're doing great. They're growing, they're eating like crazy, and no complaints. So I think if you get these, you're gonna have a great shot at nice, healthy, true freshwater moray eels. Let's look at a couple snails before we look at some more fish. Right here, check this out. Now that is what I call a colony of rabbit snails. Look at this. These big lumps you're seeing right there and right there and over there, that is zucchini. They are all over big chunks of zucchini. I think it's half a zucchini each. And rabbit snails take a little while to get going, but once they get going, they really get going. Like, check all of these out. Now the nice thing about rabbit snails is they only have one baby at a time, I believe, maybe a couple, but I think it's one baby at a time. So they're easy to keep their population under control. Now here I know we have a ton, but that's because we're trying to breed a ton. But if you get some of these, you're not gonna have the problem that you have with pest snails where they absolutely overrun your aquarium and you can't control them. These are easy for population control. A couple other snails that are awesome. Come on down here, I'll show you. These are purple mystery snails. We started with just a few and we've been working hard to breed up a nice colony. And look at them, look how impressive these are. This snail here, the foot, is, I want to say 2 inches. That's a big boy. They're on their zucchini mounds, 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. And I didn't know I was going to be a snail guy, but the more I learn about them, the more I deal with them, the more I see how absolutely kind of cute they are with their antennae and stuff. They're just growing on me. This seems to be a pretty nice strain, nice purple coloration. I like the racing stripes down the shells. Yeah, and look, here's some more. We got some more egg cases coming. So awesome purple mystery snails. I didn't know I was a snail guy, but it turns out I am. One more snail before we show you some more fish. This is another mystery snail. Look at these. These are the blue mystery snail. They're a very light blue color. Almost white, but with a blue sheen and some yellow on them as well. And I think they're absolutely stunning looking because they pop from across the room. This nice bright shells. Man, that one's, look at the size of this sucker. Here's my fist for comparison. That is a big, big snail. And look at the reproduction, tons and tons of babies. The secret to keeping snails alive that we've found, and I'm not a true expert on them, but look, we're doing pretty good. The secret is lots of food. Lots of food and clean water. I think most people don't feed their snails enough, and they starve out, and they don't reproduce well. But if you feed them, they will come. All right, let's look at some fish. I want to start with this guppy. This is the full green guppy. These come from an IFGA line. This group has not been entered in IFGA shows, but they come from the International Fancy Guppy Association line. And so look at you. I think you can tell. Like if you're used to your normal everyday run-of-the-mill guppies, and then you see these, you can tell. Look at that tail fin. Look how beautiful that is. Now, green guppies. Green is not a color that's really prominent in guppies. Under the right light, at the right angle, you'll see green tails for sure. But mostly they look like a kind of an aqua green, a blue-green coloration. And that's okay, that's normal for this strain. That's the official name for guppies like this. So don't expect like a grass green guppy. That's not what a full green guppy is. It's a blue-green guppy with when the green really pops out at certain times when they're swimming at certain angles. So I just want to make that clear. But look at them, they're awesome. Those tails are fantastic. Okay, moving over here. All right, here's another tank I really like. Look at this, look at all these orange shrimp. This massive colony. These are all born and bred here at Dan's Fish. We've had this strain going for, oh, I don't know, many generations. I don't know how many years, a year or two maybe like that. But look at them, all nice orange shrimp just all over in there. And the secret to a big shrimp colony I found, I'm not a massive shrimp expert, I'm no Grant eater, but what seems to work for us is a lot of surface area. So we have all this moss in here. So there's plenty of places, and they're all throughout the moss. They dig through this. They're not just on the top, they're all throughout it. And then what we like to feed is something like this. This is the Aquarium Co-op community food, the little community pellet. We used to feed large pellets to shrimp, and what we found is they would all gang up in a big pile on it, which is fun to watch, but it meant that a lot of the shrimp didn't get enough food because they couldn't get to it because it was just, they couldn't get through the mob. So we've switched to feeding this stuff for a while now, and it works really well because little pellets distributed all throughout the moss. Each shrimp will go and grab a little pellet, and everybody gets plenty to eat. So lots of surface area, some kind of small pellet that's dispersed, and clean water and little patience, and boom, look at that. I don't know how many thousands are in there, but this is a fun tank to watch. This is a fish that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a killifish fanatic, and this is the giant Rivulus. It's not a fish you see often at all. I was very lucky to be able to get them from a hobbyist breeder who had some and was willing to send some. Look how much color they're getting. See that yellow on the edge of the tail fin, and then those red dots down the body and the orange in the anal fin. These are absolutely stunning, and they're small still. They're 2 inches, maybe a little bigger. Look at those guys about to display in the back. Come on, do it, yay! And they're gonna get 4 or 5 inches, and the color is gonna get better and better as they grow. I've seen a full-grown one of these, and it absolutely blew my mind. Now, most of the Rivulus type killifish are kind of brown on brown. So these are the true supermodels of that genus. There's a few others that are pretty too, but this is one of the few that has a ton of really nice color on it. An absolute killifish keeper's dream. Nice, big, beautiful South American Rivulus species. And then up here, totally different, we have some albino Kohaku, koi Lyretail swordtails. Look at these guys, and the price is pretty darn good on these, if I do say so myself. So if you like a nice koi coloration and nice long fins, you could do a lot worse than this group of fish right here. So check them out if you're in the market. The price is pretty good for the quality. Okay, a couple more down here to show you. Now this is an interesting loach. This is the Sichuan rock Hillstream loach. And they have different colors. Now normally if I see a Hillstream loach that's light colored like that, I would be worried. I'd be thinking, ooh, that thing's not doing well. But with this species, they have different colorations, and a lot of it seems to depend on mood. They'll switch their color back and forth. So they have this darker color. We have the brown with the gold banding on it. And by the way, that gold's really nice. It really does glow. And then you have these lighter colors, like almost like they're on sand or something. And both do fine, and they switch back and forth. So this one is dark. It might change its mood in a little while and go light. So really interesting Hillstream loach. Not quite like any other that I've seen before, to tell you the truth. Now over here, we have a fish that isn't really rare or anything, but it is the right fish. So these are the Siamese algae eaters. And the problem is, often when you go to buy a Siamese algae eater, you get the wrong fish. You'll get a Chinese algae eater, or a flying fox, or something like that. And the problem with those is the Chinese algae eater gets pretty darn big and it's mean. And the flying fox just doesn't eat algae very well, and it's a little aggressive as well. It can be quite assertive. So if you want the true Siamese algae eater, this is the one. We have a great source for the true one. We have sold, I don't know, tens of thousands of these or more. It's one of our best sellers, and we've seen them full grown. We have some full grown in the store actually, and they're the right one. So they do a great job at controlling like bushy algae, like hair algae, stuff like that. They don't do as well with algae that are smooth on the glass, like a diatom algae. For that you would want like a bushy-nosed pleco or something, but stuff that has tufts and kind of sticks out, that kind of algae, they do great on that. Okay, here's one I'm super excited to show you. These are Montezuma Swordtails, and they are shy, very shy. They don't like this camera at all. They're juveniles. I cannot sex these. I don't see any obvious sex traits yet, but they're healthy. They were bred and raised right here in Sheridan, Wyoming. And look at them go. So nice healthy ones. Unfortunately, I can't sex them for you, but they should do really, really well for you. This is probably the most popular of the wild type swordtails because the tail on the male is so long. It's longer than the body when they finally fully develop. They're a slow grower. They do take a little while to grow out, but stunning and totally worth it in my opinion. Okay, down here, I wanted to show you this. I think this is so cool. Look at this. Look at this hill trout. Oh, these are so, so gorgeous. I love that blue on the body, the yellow on the tail fin that contrasts so nicely with that orange. Look at that orange on the dorsal fin. These are the blue spotted hill trout. Right now, the biggest ones are under 3 inches. The smallest ones are 2.5, let's say. They're growing well, they're doing awesome. Active fish, one you don't see very often at all. And I'm thrilled to be able to offer them to you. And then this is a new one here at dancefish.com. I don't think we've had this one before. This is the red Eye Kerri Tetra. I don't remember the scientific name, but it'll be up on the website. Another version of the Kerri Tetra. We're getting so many cool Emperor Tetras and Kerri Tetras in. And this is just a new one, that bright orange anal fin. Something that you don't see on the normal Kerri Tetras. So I think that these things are absolutely awesome. And again, brand new to me, so I can't tell you much about them, except for so far they seem hardy and great. They've been a really neat new Tetra for us. My favorite of the Limia perugiae. Why is it my favorite? Well, a lot of Limias have good color, and these do too. I love the black on the fins, the yellow on the tail, and the silvery, sparkly contrasts on the body. I think that's awesome. But what I like about these is their activity. This is one of the most active Limias ever. They are swimming fast all the time. Very active fish, just frenetic, and I like that energy. I like what they bring to an aquarium. Now we're going kind of deep in Hillstream loaches. Hillstream loaches are gaining a lot of popularity, kind of like the L-number Hypensistris did when they first came on the scene a few decades ago. I think that these Hillstream loaches might be the new kind of Hypensistris. These are the Vietnamese tiger Hillstream loach. You can tell that from, see that nice kind of tiger stripe pattern on the body. They're doing fantastic for us as well. We've had these for a while. They're through quarantine. They're eating on algae wafers. They're eating on protein pellets. Any sinking food that is water stable is good for these. And they are nature's suction cups. Their whole body and fins are a suction cup. That's what Hillstream loaches do, because they live in really rapidly flowing water, and to not get washed away in the current, they have to stick to the rocks. So they've specialized to stick to stuff, which is pretty cool. A very unique fish. Okay, I want to make sure I got everything on this aisle. Okay, let's go to the next aisle down and show you some more stuff. By the way, if you don't know this warehouse, it's big. It's got 478 aquariums in it. This is the next aisle we'll go down. Each aisle has 60 aquariums, 30 on each side. And here is one people have been asking about a lot. We have pictures of these on our website. Oh, I just spooked them, darn. And people are they really red? Do they really look good? This is the Peppermill Tetra. These are not fully colored up yet, but you can see the color coming in already. On some of those larger ones, it's a beautiful red and black fish with oranges as well. Some whites on the tail, but very beautiful fish. What they remind me of is a raccoon tetra, but instead of a palette of yellows and oranges, these have a palette of oranges and reds. Really beautiful fish, one that a lot of people, like a bucket list fish for a lot of people. That's how pretty it is. And for a lot of us, we've only seen pictures in magazines. We haven't been able to see the real thing. So it's an absolute privilege to have them have them doing so well, and have them starting to color up for us. I absolutely love these guys. All right, here they are. You asked, we got them. These are the Panda Loaches. Look at these guys. So this is one that people have been asking me for literally years. And I've tried a few times and been reluctant to continue because I couldn't find the right supplier, but we found a supplier that does a good job with them. Now there's variety in the coloration. Some are more stripy, some are more strongly banded, but all of them are super cool. That light color against dark looks nice, and that on some of them that light color turns more like an iridescent gold. But look at these guys. Oh, here's a little group of them that I can show you. Just cute as a button. Panda Loaches. Want your mind blown? Have your mind blown. Look at these Empire Gudgeons. This is why they're so awesome. Now when you get them, usually they're kind of small, they don't have color yet, they need some time to develop. Worth it though. Like, look what happens once they've developed. They turn in these absolutely stunning fish, and these are still small. they're still developing. They're still getting their color and their fins and everything. They're still developing the big nuchal humps. We've had these breeding in here. They're happy, they're healthy, they're gorgeous. I didn't list them for a while because my plan was I was going to set up a display tank with these and then make a really nice video, but real talk, I'm never going to get to that. So for now, we've listed them for sale, and this is what you're going to be getting. Oh man, this is one of my favorite fish ever. Like, look at those things. Okay, a few more down here. By the way, if you're wondering why there's aquariums with lids off and stuff in the tank and stuff, what happens is we've sold all the fish out of this tank, and so now we're sterilizing it. We put a bottle of hydrogen peroxide in there. We're sterilizing it to get it ready for the next group of fish that comes in. So that way we don't cross-contaminate with disease between batches of fish. So we have a big group of fish coming in on Monday. Today is Wednesday, so we're getting all prepped for that. And this is one of the steps in that preparation. Okay, I'll let you guess. What are they? Well, you know they're a pelvic achromis, but you might not know which one. This is the blue Kribensis. Look at these guys. This is a pair back here. They've kind of claimed an area around the airstone, and they look like they're getting ready to breed that pair. See how he's got the red on the belly coming in, and he's chasing everyone away, and she's claimed this spot over here. Oops, let me get my body in the way to cut the glare. There we go. So I think they're gonna breed soon. But there's the blue Kribensis. If you're wondering what it looks like, it's not like bright blue. Like a lot of names in the aquarium industry are a little misleading. It does have bluish color in the pelvic fins and in the anal fin, more blue than other pelvic achromis, but you know, if you're expecting a bright blue fish because it's called blue Kribensis, that's not what you get. So just be aware of that. I don't come up with the names, folks. The other folks come up with the names, they stick, they become the common name, and yeah, I won't be held accountable. But we do our best to show pictures and video and stuff so that you can see what you'll actually be getting. Still a beautiful fish though. These guys are really pretty. Okay, these are some Rio Nanay Angelfish. These are the ones with the spotting on the body. These are at a really good price right now because if you look, you'll see on some of them the tails aren't perfect. They've got like a trident tail coming out. They didn't start with that, but there was some combat, and they were in here with another species of fish, and the tails got damaged. Now, not all of them. Some of them have perfectly good tails, but they're healthy. They're happy. They've grown quite a bit for us, and they're doing well. So, if you want a really good price on a fish that's really expensive, you can get a nice group of them for a song, really. So Rio Nanay spotted angelfish is what these are. Then behind us here, totally different kind of fish. These are the copper mollies. This has become the most popular, I would say, of the domestic sailfin mollies that we sell. More popular than the Dalmatian sailfins, than the gold sailfins, than the silver sailfins, all those. And it's because there's such a rich coloration. The females are kind of that copper color, and the males have copper, but also this really nice orange that's a lot deeper orange than like you would get on a gold sailfin molly. So people are loving these. They're doing well for folks. In this batch, I mean, look at them. I don't see any that are shimmying or doing poorly. They've been through the protocol. We do a medication protocol on these guys. They've been through quarantine, and they're good. They're ready to go. Long fin Rosy barbs, not showing their full colors yet. The males are going to get a lot rosier color, a lot more red as they grow and develop and frankly settle in. They're through quarantine. They've been here for a little over 2 weeks, but it takes them a little longer than that to really settle in and fire up. But the last batch we had from the same breeder, they came in a little bigger, and I got to see their full colors, and they're pretty impressive. Okay, time to show you some more Hillstream loaches. These are two very rare ones. This is Pseudogastromyzon fangii. Really neat fish. I hope they raise their dorsal fins for us. They probably won't. Okay, where's the glare the least bad? There, I'm trying to get the log glare free. I think I did it, more or less. And if you notice those vertical bars, the vertical stripes on the body, they start at the tail and they go up to about the dorsal fin, but after that they turn into this kind of different pattern, right? So the stripies stop there. Look at the stripies on the underside of this guy. Whereas this one, Pseudogastromyzon fasciatus or fasciolatus, if you look, you'll see those stripes go way up further on the body, up into the dorsal fin and beyond. And that's how you tell the difference. Now, someone did reach out to me and tell me they thought these might be Kribensis. So we're trying to confirm whether they are or not. But from my research, I think these might be fasciatus or fasciolatus because of those stripes that extend so far up the body. So Hillstream loaches IDs are difficult, really difficult. So we're still trying to get to the bottom of it. But this is what you'll be getting if you order this fish. Okay, I think it's time. Oh no, I want to show you these. It is not time to go to the next row. How could I forget these? Okay, this is a group of Bolivian orange lemon tetras. For a long time they were the same species as your standard lemon tetra. They might still be. I can't remember if they got a new scientific name or not. But they're like a lemon tetra, but with a lot more orange and red on them. They're actually a very, very pretty fish, but they have to grow fairly big before they look really pretty. On a lemon tetra, you can see the yellow on black when it's still fairly young, a regular lemon tetra. On these, you have to be patient, but once they get nice size like this, they start looking really, really good. So there is the Bolivian orange lemon tetra. Okay, one more tank down here I want to show you. It's been forever since we've had these. This was one of our best-selling angelfish strains. And then I couldn't get them for quite a while, but now they're available again. They're a nice kind of bluish color on the body with black stripes and some spots. That's what the lace comes from. So nice zebra lace angelfish. The ones we got in the past were more of a dark base color, like a black base color. These are more of a blue base color, so there is a little bit of difference. But man, that's a pretty fish. All those patterns and stripes. This group's doing fantastic, by the way. Nice, healthy fish. I'd say the bodies on these are about 2 inches, give or take a little bit, because there's some variation in the size. Okay, now it's time to go to another row. My face is probably really dark because I turned off the ceiling lights in here so that the tanks would have less glare, so that they would look better, but here we are. Okay, what do you think these are? Give you a minute. Albino Corys, yeah, but what species? These are the albino Sterbai Corys. So as they grow, they get more and more gold on the spines on their fins, on their pectoral fins. So that gold color that you see in the standard Sterbai Cory, that stays on the albino, and it makes a much better looking albino, I think, than your standard albino Cory, which is Aeneas or Paleatus or something like that. So there you go, albino Sterbai, not one you see all the time. And I think there's another fish on this row that I want to show you. So go ahead and look at the Sterbai for a second while I find it. Oh, there's not. There's not. So we're going to go down to another row. Okay, here we go. By the way, these are all fish going to customers tomorrow, all throughout the warehouse here. We select the fish the day before they're shipped, and we put them in bags so that they can fast, so they can clear their bowels. And then in the morning we'll change the water in all these bags, seal them up, box them up, and send them to the customers. And that way the customer gets a fish that isn't, doesn't have a big poopy bag. It's nice clean water in the bag, and the fish doesn't go through the stress of having a bunch of waste in the bag during shipment. So that's how we do it. If you're wondering what the Q means and the X means, Q is these are still in quarantine. X means they're getting medications. We have some standard medications we use in quarantine. And we have a diagnostic lab here that we can work up the fish, see what they have, and medicate them accordingly. So that's what that labeling means. 3 more tanks of fish to show you. Feast your eyes on these guys. Look at the coloration on that fish. So these are the solid yellow Highfin variatus platies. Males have much higher fins than females, but they're called solid yellow for a reason. I mean, look at them. Does it get much more yellow than that? I don't think so. And next to them, we have the sunrise Highfin platies, which is, with the yellow, you get that nice orange on them. So yellow and orange. Look at those nice high fins. So 2 strains of platies that you don't see every day, and that I think are absolutely beautiful. Really, really stunning fish. And then the last one I want to show you today is this. We sell a lot of Manicapuru angelfish, but we also have an albino Manicapuru angelfish. And the picture I have on the website is really bad. I think I took it with like a cheap cell phone back in the day of a Manicapuru that came from a different breeder and wasn't nearly as good. These come from a top breeder. You can tell because look at the ventral fins on these things. They're sweeping like they should. They're equidistant. They're about the same length. The fins on these are absolutely fantastic. So if you like Manicapuru angelfish and you want a different flavor of them, the albino Manicapurus, you could do a lot worse than this strain. This is a very good strain from a breeder that took a lot of care and attention in developing it. So I'm really proud of these. Okay, anyway, that's the quick and dirty tour of the fish we have here at dansfish.com. There's a lot of other stuff, but these are a few highlights. And if you, I don't know, usually when I do these things, I do a separate intro and outro and it's all planned and smooth. I'm kind of stumbling right now doing it quick and dirty like this. So I'm just gonna say thanks for watching. Check out our stuff at dansfish.com and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.